Retro Man presents.
Hello. Now then, rather than doing a normal video of just mute Commodore 64 music in games or whatever, I decided to do something slightly different. The actual game loading. Some games that are load on cassette you can play games on, which I've covered. There's also different types of loading, like different borders, screens, everything else, something like that. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and give me a thumbs up if you like it, and a thumbs down if you didn't, or any other comments you've got. Thank you. Hi, I'm Multi-Retro Man. Now, this is Wiz Ball, which was on the Commodore 64. Like you've seen on the intro, I wanted to do all these different videos about various games, loading screens, music, that type of thing, because a lot of people, they cover the games, play that type of thing, which I thought I'd do something a bit different. This game, like I said, Wiz Ball, and what you do is you control a character's little green sort of Pac-Man type ball that, you have to collect all these various items and avoid the enemies. Moving left or right makes him spin a certain amount of time, depending how long you hold it for. And if you start spinning that way, he'll sort of go like that and then bounce as fast. So if he's only going very slow like that, it would then sort of maybe bounce a little bit like that. Whereas if he's doing fast, he'd bounce, he'd fly off basically. The game itself was okay. I wasn't a big fan of it because I found it a bit boring, to be fair. But the loading screen, the music, and everything else with this is absolutely superb. So, hope you enjoy the music, hope you enjoy the loading screen, and enjoy. Right, I hope you enjoyed that music. I'm not going to bore you with all the listening to too long, so next song. This is a good one. Look, found name. The game should be 180. What's 180? 180. Not sure if it does anything music. $720. Now, this was a really good game. On the Commodore 64, the graphics, okay, a bit blocky, but the colours and everything were really good. And the sound, the music was absolutely brilliant. And as you can see on there, US Gold created this game. Now, US Gold did a lot of good games. They were like Tapper, various other games as well. Close, that's it. And like I said, they were just really good games. They did produce some really fantastic ones. You got Ocean Software. Well, they were just obviously called Ocean on the screen and everything. And there were quite a few other really fantastic creators. As you can probably tell, I'm a little bit bunged up today because I'm a bit of cold, but we can plod on. Oh, look at that, lovely full screen colours. That was usually to indicate the final part of the loading. So there you go, you see. So it's like normally the last chunk. I'm gonna play you all the music. Okay,
enough of that nonsense. Okay, Action Biker. Now, this didn't really have a sort of fantastic loading or anything. There were some games that had games that you could actually play while they were loading. There was a couple. There was Space Invaders one, and there was one like Amidar where you have to fill the squares in. Hopefully I'll be able to find them again, because I did that on the other video, but the video was too quiet, so you couldn't even hear the music or anything. So I'd forgotten I'd paused the actual emulation part. Oops. And there we go. Action Biker. KP skips. They were when crisps used to actually get a decent amount of crisps in a packet, not like nowadays. This is the final part. Funny colours on there saying loading, but hey, what can you say? What? Another advert. I didn't see this bit before. Now this is music which is... Now I've played this on the other bit as well, but you can actually play better now with this newer version of the emulator. I use it's called Hoxs, Hoxs 64. Hopefully you can hear the music okay now. Yep. The Spectrum version of this game was a completely different, not 3D or anything. Okay, Alicat. Now, when I see something like different loading colours or whatever at the side of the screen, I'm gonna do a little video just to show you what the difference, the different ones look like. Some are multicoloured, some like this one, like brown and black. Some have very black things with ever so thin lines, etc. But this is showing. I don't know if it's loaded or not. Let me just have a quick to see if it's. I might play that music. How it does that is when it's changing the joystick. So if I press the joystick to change the buttons or whatever. Well, I think that must be still loading. It looks of it, although I'm not quite sure. Okay, it turned out that it was actually loading. Now, obviously, I'm not going to play the game too much, but I just want to show you what some of the music sounds like. The effects, the game's amazing. And I do remember playing this game actually. Okay, there's no sound on, there's no music or anything, but this is what it's like. Now here's an interesting one which I used to quite like. Different coloured borders flashing. Now this one, it seems to be different because it's only alternating between two sort of colours. You've got black and green and purple and white. Now some of them used to change different colours. You'd have somewhere you'd have the just static colours on the border changing. But that's a nice, nice loading screen, I think there. I think they should have really, if they could have done, just left it as green and black. But hey, that's their choice, isn't it? Speed up the emulation bit, and you get sort of a disco flashing lights. Okay, some of just a quick bit of the music here. The graphics on the intro are quite good, actually. The way they've presented it really, really well. Fast forward it a bit after this bit. Watch. Yeah, it's alright. Quite a nice intro. This one's called Athena. I quite like this game actually. It's a sideways scrolling one where you jump on things, hit things, grab extra, devices that you can kill the enemies with. You get helmets that you can bash rocks above your head as well and collect bonus things. There's ladders. It's quite a good, nice little platformer actually. But yeah, you can see it's a sort of a what colour is that? What do you say that is? A bit of like not maroony. Sort of a rosy reddy kind of colour, I suppose. Well, it's like a brown red, isn't it? It's like a brown and red and black. Any other colours change, I'll resume recording. This is what I wanted to show. This got slightly different music to the other one. What? there we have the colours of them again. Like I said, Commodore 64 did some great music. Okay, now I'm a bit confused about this one actually. I would have thought that the loading thing. Pause the music a second. I thought that the music, that the picture would have been in colour, but hey ho. Enough of that anyway. Okay, I thought I'd just show a little bit of the tune. It seems to just repeat that over and over and over and over. Now this one, a Jeff Minter classic. I actually met Jeff Minter quite a few years ago at a gaming exhibition thing that they were doing. Great guy. You know, he likes. He's got something llamas and or whatever it is, sheep or something. I've forgotten now. To be honest, he was on Twitter about it. Then this one's Attack of the Mutant Camels. There, Jeff Minter presents. Oh, press 5 to start the game. So there was no actual loading screen or anything. Just when it starts. Yeah, look at that. Awesome. ATV simulator. What does this look like? Okay, standard Commodore 64 loading. Nice picture. You know, well drawn, well designed. This is at normal loading speed. That's fast, maximum loading speed. No difference is there really, you can't really tell. Okay, as you can see there was nothing else really exciting there. Here we go, Nova load. Let me just try and do that again. There we go, Ball Blazer. Now this has got the Nova load with all the squiggly things. Apologise for the changes of this light here, but it keeps going dark and then light again. It's the weather's really poor at the minute. Feel like an electric shock that. Well, not really, but just thought I'd do something to brighten your day or something. Disconnect any other peripherals except cassette unit and reload. No, that looks like the flashing thing at the bottom. I think that's the when it used to flash and say there's a problem with the disc, the tape or whatever. Try another one. Now this was a really good game, Bangkok Nights. Now obviously the disc version was much better because it was a lot quicker to load. Yeah, but the game itself, you know, you got tall graphics, kicking. It was sort of like kickboxing, but you know, absolutely fantastic graphics. I think this was probably one of the games that was a must-have on the Commodore 64 if you like that kind of game, obviously. But to show the really good things, I mean, games like Last Ninja, etc., absolutely, you know, really good. That's what I was mentioning earlier regarding the different colours. There's part like Nova Load, you say, and System 3, whatever it was, 313, whatever. And now, when it comes up. Oh, System 3, I was right, System 3. Here we've got some nice music for you. See, and it was quite well presented. So this is how I used to load. I mean, it did take a long time to load. It was a cassette, but you know, sometimes like Nova loads and stuff, they sped things up quite a lot. Some games before used to take 6-7 minutes to load up and turn out to be a load of rubbish. This one was worth the wait. Another loading screen, which you know, I thought that particular loading screen was really good. You know, the colours, you know, the fact they look like real gloves, you know, real boxing gloves, and you couldn't get more realistic than that really on a Commodore 64, given the graphics and everything, but. You know, the resolution limitations, etc. This is obviously the one thing that emulations have as an advantage over, you know, original Commodore 64s is the fact that, you know, you can fast forward the loading. even doing this though, you know, I mean, it's loading what? It's at the moment between 420 and 470% speed, you know, maximum speed. So you're still talking quite a long time, but hey, can't grumble really. Coming soon, Manchu Man. And I think there's another problem with the cassettes. You know, you have to sort of load them so far, and then I think if you got to the next character, you'd have to then load that in, and then if you finish, you know, if you got killed by the other one, then you had to reload the tape back again, and they were an absolute nightmare. But at least with a disc drive, you maybe only have to turn the discs over, you know, the disc onto like side 1 or side 2. Okay, now I've just missed the very beginning of the intro bit off, but you know, the graphics really nice. Just press the buttons, just see if it shows you. You can actually play. Okay, space on. Alright. Okay, why is it not working? Because I'm not actually on the game. just to give you an idea what it looks like. There you go. I'm not playing it. Okay, now here's a game, Night Racer, and this one contains a playable game while you're loading. And you'll see what it is in a minute. Well, I say a minute, it'll be less than a minute because you're watching it now. There we go, it's called Invader Load. Where's the thing? So what you do, get off the actual thing. Fire on stick input, so let's see. And this is the now I did a video on this one on the other on a different video, but I think I'm going to delete that one off because the sound, you couldn't hear anything. The sound was too quiet. And I'm playing just as badly as I did on that one. Now if I time this right and do it one at a time. Oops, no. Right, there we go. This might do a bit better. I might end up actually completing the level on this one because I didn't complete the level before. I'm just out of curiosity. I want to see what it does. I think it just goes back to the beginning again. You know oh my gosh! Oh, flipping egg! I don't believe it. I nearly did well then, but hey ho ho. You get the gist of it. That's that one. Okay, here's a popular one with the especially Spectrum users, Set Willy. Set Willy was you know, one of the more popular games, or if you like, you know, one of the games that a lot of people had. It had a very sort of like load of different colours and stuff, where you know, like a protection thing for it. This one though, this game on this Commodore 64 goes one a little bit further than that, and this also has a playable game upon loading. There you go. This is the loading screen for it. I'm hoping I've not got the wrong one there. Just, nice. This is the one. This is the right one. Now, I don't know how long it'll take, so I'm going to try and speed up a little bit. Just loading at faster speed. Now, hopefully, it's going to have the game playable. If not, I'm going to have to edit this bit. I'm still loading, but I'm speeding up a bit, trying to download the thing. My mistake. It wasn't actually on that game. I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to find what game it actually plays on. While I'm finding it though, this is Joe Blade. This is one of the similar ones, kind of a lot thinner lines with loading on the borders, but there you go. That's what it looks like. Oh, and there'll just be a chance that this is actually the game that has the micro painter on, which is pretty cool. So here we go. A bit easier with these controls. I've got the I'm using the other controls on well, not the big ones on the Xbox 360 controller. Xbox One controller rather. If I manage to complete this, I'll be very surprised. Now, this will certainly submit if I I do it. Rah! Got me. Nearly got me. Oh, grief. Oh. So you can do that. Oh, flipping it. I'll not bother with that anymore. Okay, this game, Joe Blade 2. Now, and you see on the thin lines, but this one's grey and black. Okay, this one has music. Not bad music. Okay, now we have full screen fuzzy lines and stuff like that, which, you know, I suppose on a TV screen might look quite good. You don't very often see it like that. Now this game, Horace. Now, I'm a big fan of Hungry Horace, well, all of the Horace titles, if you like, on the Spectrum. And I'm quite interested to see how this one is, because I didn't realise they brought this one out on the Commodore 64. I'll show you the Horace Goes Skiing in a short while. But I'm just not quite sure what Hungry Horace is going to actually play like, or even look like, to be honest. Now, it's been loading for a long, long time according to this, and still just a blue screen. So, not very exciting loading, is it? Well, this is different. The graphics are smooth. You know, the characters running really smooth. Colours are a bit, you know. However, this is what it looks like when it started off. Written by Greg Barley. Copyright 1983 software. Still a little bit better intro than the Spectrum one, because the Spectrum was really annoying. Now this one plays very similar to the Spectrum one. That you just move it in a certain direction and the character carries on running. Now the noise of the thing's a bit so there's a lot more tunes to it and noise, as you can expect, really. Okay, well, next game. Okay, never mind about the next game. I'm just going to show you this bit on here. Looking at this, shocking. Look at that. There's no way I'm going to get past this level. Okay, that didn't end quite well. That particular Hungry Horace, a lot more tricky and more difficult than the Spectrum version. Didn't even get to the 4th level, which normally I'm pretty good. This one, Horace with a funny squiggly thing, is actually Horace Goes Skiing. Again, no fancy load as the standard, you know, Commodore 64 loading, nothing special. Anyway, another Greg Bartlett did this one as well. Copyright 1984, this one. Again, the intro much less annoying than the Spectrum version, because the Spectrum version was just like squeaking, squealing. Like I said, I don't know when I bother playing the game. I won't want to play, but just to show you the difference, you can actually stop in the middle of the. You know, you're not constantly running like you are on the Spectrum version. You have to keep the thing pressed. You know, like like now, I can go like that, stop there, and obviously get knocked over. The sounds are quite nice as well. The graphics are what you expect. Oh, so I've got to go back and buy another set of skis. Well, that's a bit of a rip-off. Oh, that's neat. I've not seen that before. Where they come down and pick you up, get you on a stretcher. Right, just no money. Well, that's no good, is it? Oh, so that's the end of the game. There you go. They didn't ever release Horace and the Spiders, I don't believe, on the Commodore 64. And in fairness, I think that was probably one of my favourite games. Check out my other video that I did about the Spectrum games, and it's one of those on there. The graphics on it are, you know, really nice. Plays really well. Well worth having a play on, or trying to find on an emulator or something, or buy the original if you can. Probably not be able to these days. This one, Head Over Heels. I've no idea what this loading is on like on this. If it's any good, I'll carry on. If it's not, I'll skip to the next game. Okay, slightly different. This one, more grey colours with little coloured bars and the occasional changing things here. Oh yeah, the usual music, which I'm not bothered with. You've probably heard it already with the first one, Wiz Ball. Just want to show you the title screen on there. Quite nice. Nothing exciting to show afterwards. That's the menu system. Mania on the Commodore 64. Now this was a really good game. 3D Pac-Man, basically, like well, yeah, not exactly, well, sort of 3D, but kind of a sideways 3D one if you've never seen it. You must have heard of Pac-Man running around eating dots, you know, avoiding ghosts, eating power pills, then you can eat the ghost. This Pac-Mania is slightly different in the fact that you can actually jump over the ghost as well. You know, still doesn't stop it being a very difficult game though. Now there was a bit of an introduction to that. Yeah. Right, this is loading from a disk version, you know, disk drive version, which I believe that's the see a little blue light on there at the bottom. There's a little, you can see it. Well, I forget the thing properly. The thing pointing there. See the little lights down there. They are, I think the green. I can't remember actually now. The green and the blue. I have to look into that, see and find out what's what with that. Right, I'm going to speed this up a bit. This is what I expect a Pac-Mania to look to play like. I believe that game I've just been playing wasn't a loading screen for it at all. I think it was actually the actual game for some strange reason. Now, some games used to have these little intros, well, not intros, but you know, there were sort of crack things if you like, you know, demo, and you used to get these. You used to be able to get them using an action replay. I almost forgot. I think it was Action Replay Mark 3. If I remember rightly, that you could customize your own loading things. And a friend of mine actually had one and he did his own thing for Pac-Land, which I thought was really good actually. I went and bought one, sold it, then I decided I wanted another one. I apologise for this, I've not seen this at all, so no. Okay, so this says unlimited lives, yes or no. We don't want unlimited lives. This is what I expected to see. Pac-Mania. Music's on, so thingy day, well, we'll pick that one. I'm not going to play the game very long, I just want to show you what this sounds like. Then when you eat the power pill, everything goes quiet. And then if you don't want to, so yeah, these are the bonus ones. Like I won't go. Now this game, per se, the Potty Pigeon, as you can see, the light's gone dark again. You know, just a few seconds ago, it was actual really bad sleet coming down. You know, and you know, at the minute it's feeling quite cold in the house, and I've turned the temperature up. Any pigeon? What? What are you talking about? Any pigeon? It's per se the Potty Pigeon. Flipping heck. Now, if you're into games and you're from Sheffield or around that area, you would know that per se the Potty Pigeon was created by a company called Gremlin Graphics, and they did other games like the Monty Mole series. I think they even did one called Sam Stoke, which was, I believe, that beginning. Or round about the beginning when Monty Mole first came on. Their offices were based above a gaming shop called Just Micro, and I'm really pleased that I was born when I did, because I used to go there quite a lot, you know, with my dad when we used to go shop at, sort of like get some games and stuff for Christmas and things. Also from there I got a Saga Emperor keyboard, which is an old like a sort of like white keyboard that fitted on. It was about, you know, about that wide, you know, and then the actual Spectrum bit was sort of that wide, and you'd have the Spectrum on the bottom there, and then the thing just fits on the top. So you would take the overlay, the membrane, everything else off it, and it was actually just a replacement keyboard for the Spectrum. So instead of being rubber keys, it was like a proper, you know, little clicky sort of plasticky kind of keys. But it was absolutely fantastic keyboard. It was so good to use. You know, you'd click it, and it was brilliant. I mean, I ended up getting rid of it to a friend of mine, and that's what I think I ended up swapping it for a little mini stereo system. Sort of regretting it now. I wish I'd have kept it, but you know, these things happen. I wasn't going to show you quick the gameplay of this game, but I think the biggest difference is, as you can see here, scrolling. And you can go on cars and blow the cars up. Really? Shocking. I've just died, and I want to just play so you can listen to the music. Oh, I guess the chat side changed it, but I mean the game really on the Spectrum it was a static screen. It wasn't scrolling like this on this one. The graphics on this one are a bit too glitchy and stuff, and there you can see there in the bottom right hand corner the actual gremlin, the gremlin graphics. Now this next game is a game that it's not. I don't know, it's probably commonly known, but I didn't at the time. I'd never heard of it. It's called Kantha. 3D shoot 'em kind of game where you collect people, you rescue them rather, and then you have a ship in you. The whole idea is you got to go to certain places, drop them off for safety, and then just keep repeating itself. The reason why I'm including this though is the game music and stuff is absolutely fantastic. Okay, I know I wasn't going to do any music, things, but if it was just solely the game loading things, there's not that many loading music, so I think it's quite nice to have a bit of proper music, game music. And then we've got a Panther loading screen there. Very nice indeed. Okay, here's the music. I'll not play it for too long. It gives you an idea how good the music was on the 64. My gameplay leaves a lot to be desired. I'm not actually playing it properly yet, so this is if I'm playing it. This is a bit where you collect these people, survivors, look, collect survivors. You set off. This is where the music gets good. And anybody moaning and whinging saying it's rubbish, don't forget these are like more than 30 years old. Superb, absolutely superb. So if anybody doesn't like it, tough. They were great at the time. I'm saying, you've got better things nowadays because you've got realistic music and everything, but for the time, you couldn't beat it. The Commodore 64 was one of the best for music. Now this was a really, really good driving game on the Commodore 64. Pit Stop 2, one of the most popular ones. Even dare say it's even better than Pole Position. Here we go, Nova Load with its squeaky squeaks and the US Gold theme tune. Okay, well I'm fast forwarding that because it's very repetitive. Now you can see the different speed it's loading at. At the minute it's loading nearly 5 times as fast as it would do normally. So I think it's obviously it works per second, the other things. Okay, so slightly different music on this bit. Yes, normal speed now, and it is per second when it's blocks to load. So at this point, the music goes down, does whatever it's doing. Anything exciting? Oh, more loading. And then you're greeted with that. Now I've played this game many times. I'm not going to play the game. There's no music to it. Next. Now this was a bizarre game. Psycho Pigs UXB, I think it was called. I'm sure it was UXB. I've just seen it. Yeah, very strange game. You sort of, I think you can pick up the bombs if I remember rightly, because I've not played this for ages, many years, and I think the bombs had different numbers on them. So when you threw them, the countdown kept going down. So the whole idea was you had to avoid the bombs. If you timed it right, one bomb that was going to about to explode, you could pick it up, throw it at the other pig, and then blow the other pig up. Something like that, anyway. See, the loading on this particular game, look, the bars are a lot bigger than they used to be, than the other ones. The other bars are a lot thinner. But again, similar type of thing, loading the games up. Nice colours, nice intro, a little bit. Music's a bit annoying. Pub games. Now this was quite an interesting game. I think, if I remember rightly, like darts and bar billiards, that type of stuff. Oh, now this is an interesting display of loading. There was a very similar game that had black background but with funny colours on, very similar to this. That green's rather garish. Right, roll out the barrel, yeah. So on it you've got darts, bar billiards, dominoes, table soccer, blackjack, skittles, poker. Well, you can play all events. We're not going to play games. So, intro on the loaded bits, there weren't really any images or anything, so not very exciting.
Hello. Right, this is going to be a bonus video, which is regarding some gameplay I used to play with my friend years ago, Mark, who's now living in Ireland, and I used to get the jackpot. Played it the other day and I did it again. Used to get the jackpot like this. Wait, does it? There we go. And I actually got the mojo back with the gambling. So you gamble that from 20p, 30p, 50, 70, all the way up to the top.
Will you bring me a jumper down from upstairs?
Thanks very much for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, give a thumbs up and consider subscribing, because I'd like to do some live things at some point, and I need 1,000 subscribers, so that would be great. What do you think? Yes, I agree.